Hey everyone, this is Mike Gorin here, and this is another one of my perfect game playthroughs. Specifically, my fourth perfect game playthrough of Golden Axe. I changed my life meter up and choose arcade. Now, to achieve a perfect game for Golden Axe, you have to get a triple A plus ranking. That involves beating the game with very minimalist amount of attacks thrown against you. That basically means all your lives, as much health as possible, and all your continues intact. To the best of my knowledge, if you die, you lose out on the A triple plus ranking altogether. And this is a lot easier said than done because this means this is a skill-based run of perfect game. And you might honestly think that this is amazing, but you can honestly tell that there is some amateurish skill involved here. As I often whiff attacks left and right, and I even get hit a couple times during this run. Unlike my other playthroughs, I could not get a triple A plus ranking off of my own skill alone. This had to be, I wouldn't say task necessarily, but it had to be emulated with save states and everything. It doesn't show because this was recorded on Bizhawk. Yeah, I can never get a real handle on how you use these beasts. It's so easy to get knocked off of these beasts. Unless you literally know where each of the enemies are. At least the bosses in this fight are... I made sure to take out both of those enemies once and then unleash this attack. This guarantees that I kill both of the fodder very quickly. Since the bosses leave you alone till then. See, I'm whiffing. And he only has 2 potions anyway, so... The plot is that of Golden Axe is there's a lot of mythology involved, similar to Altered Beast, concerning a war between the giants and the gods, which resulted in the creation of the Golden Axe. There's some enemies off the ledge of the cliff here. Pretty easy. This was actually a very tricky part to take out without getting hit a single time. Because I boosted the amount of health I have to 5 bars, I don't really have a lot of... I barely landed that attack on time. And anyways, but with this character I chose to play as Tyria Flare, and there's one reason why I choose Tyria Flare over everyone else, and it's Dragon. She's got a dragon, that's why. And you'll see the dragon soon. I take out the one small fry first. These guys can get really aggressive. And those 2 Amazonas can get... Well, I don't know if they're called They're not called Amazonas. Tyria was an Amazon or was trained by them. How to use my magic here. But luckily these guys go down in like one hit after that. More whiffing. At least he gives you 3 potions. Those green guys will only ever carry 1 piece of meat each, no matter what. And now each of the 3 main characters had someone close to them killed, and their kingdom, which is the Firewood Kingdom, was completely destroyed by Blackadder. No, not Blackadder, Death Adder. Blackadder's a British sitcom character. Now I would like to imagine. I should have gotten that dragon. I would have made the next big section of this stage easier, much easier with the dragon, but I didn't. It's not the dragon I was talking about, by the way. Yeah, you can see I'm trying to... I just never got a good handle on some of the techniques. That section took like several recordings alone to take care of. It was infuriating trying to get through that part with the giants. And these guys are extremely aggressive. They like to charge up at you, charge attack you, and gang up on you. Wait till, and then that's the dragon I wanted for this girl. This was actually among the initial slate of games that my dad bought in 1990 when he first got the Sega Genesis. I thought it was like something he bought for Christmas, but no, he got it on a whim. And Ultra Beast was bundled. So this is one of the 20 Sega Genesis games that we owned during the Genesis era. From 1990 to 92. Now, with Alicia Flare, which is the character I'm playing as, her entire kingdom she was the princess of her kingdom, and her parents and pretty much everyone else in it were destroyed by Death Adder's forces. The male lead, who kind of looks like Conan the Barbarian, is named Axe Handler. His mother was killed by Death Adder. And Gal's brother, who was fighting on the front lines for the Firewood Kingdom, was killed shielding him from harm. So all 3 of these characters seek revenge against I just threw him off a cliff. And I actually saw someone perform a neat little trick with this. It turns out you can keep these characters in an infinite loop if you attack them from below. And that's how I took those 2 skeletons out. So all 3 characters want revenge. By the way, whiffing does not actually decrease your score or rank at the end. But you have to be really good at Golden Axe in order to get a AAA+ ranking. or at least good enough to master the combos with any degree of consistency. And to do it without taking a lot minimal damage, because unlike in like Streets of Rage, enemies in Golden Axe, even the small fry, take a lot of hits to take down. You can't just combo unless you perform an infinite like what I did on the steps. Shame there aren't any more infinites after this, or knock them off the ledge of the cliff, off the ledge of a bottomless pit, or you pretty much can't do much of anything against these guys. Yeah, now I'm basically trying to play keep away because those skeletons are a bitch to deal with. I hate these skeletons. Like, I hate them more than the giant characters. And the giant characters have very fast frame rates on their attacks. Like, any decent attack you can do against a giant enemy, yeah, they can hit you faster than you can hit them. Alright, this section actually took a lot longer than I thought it would, because I had no idea why my attempts to lure him over a cliff simply wasn't working. So I just forced those two skeletons off the ledge. And I got these girls on an endless loop here on the dragon. And this guy too on an endless loop. This dragon actually is very, very, very helpful to mount. So it really only becomes a matter of avoiding the initial attacks of these enemies. In this frame, man, they just gang up on you. Yeah, I'm not a Golden Axe fan. You know, my favorite game in the Genesis trilogy is Golden Axe 3. It's the game that actually feels the smoothest to play out of all of them. In the original Golden Axe, you can sort of tell its movement in attacking is very stiff, and it doesn't really feel good beating up the bad guys. Like, not even the... And now I'm trying to farm force to max out my magic because I want the dragon for this next part. Yeah. You can tell whenever I'm handling the blue elves and trying to swipe the potions that my skills actually leave a lot to be desired. Everything you see here is the product of save states on tasking software. However, all the inputs that I play with are my own. I actually found later on that the best method dealing with those giants, particularly if there's just one by itself, is to charge at them repeatedly. You know, just charge attack. It's a very long process, but if you can't land, but it's actually very easy to whiff on the stronger. And here's the dragon. We're taking on Death Adder, and I use that mainly to take out his minions. Now I lured Death Adder at the bottom of the screen, and now I'm basically down airing him. For anyone who's played Super Smash Bros., this would probably be what a character's down air would look like. And I killed Death Adder and I've beaten the game. At least if this was the Sega Genesis version of the arcade version of this of Golden Axe, but it isn't. Anyways, we saved the king and his daughter, the princess, from Death Adder, which, aside from getting revenge against him, is the plot. And this was added into the Genesis version. That's right. That we get to take on a super boss that is exclusive only to the Genesis version. And this super boss is kind of a tacked on story element, all things considered, but man, you do not want to get hit by this final boss, the final boss of Golden Axe. His name is Deathbringer, who actually wields the Golden Axe in this version. Trying to run off the cliff and lure this guy over the ledge. I can't do the same here, so I had to jump back. And I'm luring this skeleton off the ledge and can't really do anything else of this sort other than lure those two off the cliff. And I just have to knock everyone else off the ledge right here. I don't want to make too much strong movements here because I don't want to trigger the blue elves coming in. At least not yet. Now we are going to fully stock up. These elves are actually so generous that you can easily get 9 max out your magic off of these guys. I think the sound quality's lagging. Yeah, this is definitely a product of and for the rest of it, it's all about trying to lure opposing enemies off the cliff. Now, you can't really do this because these guys with the swords, they will never charge at you. The only giant enemies that will do that are the ones with the hammers. And I whiffed the dash attack there, but that's okay. Now, this final boss, do not bother with the minions because they basically have the most health of any enemy in the game by a landslide. And this took a really long time to beat, and you absolutely do not want to get hit by any one of Deathbringer's attacks. Not only can... And yeah, I think this kind of glitch, this is definitely a product of the emulator I was using, I'm sure, or the llama that was being played. But, you know, I try to play as honestly as I could within the confines of my own skill level. So that's it, we've beaten the game. Golden Axe as a game is one of those games that I'm not super proud of when I do beat the game, but, you know, it is what it is. Now, all we really have left as far as the 1989 games that we owned on the Genesis are Tommy Lasorda's Baseball, Arnold Palmer's Tournament Golf, and Truxton. And, yeah, I'll leave it up to you as to which team you want me to play as for Tommy Lasorda Baseball, but I'm not looking forward to doing perfect runs for any of those games. With Tommy Lasorda Baseball and Arnold Palmer's Tournament Golf, I will probably relegate to just skipping all the way to the end and showing that off. Because nobody wants to see somebody play the same game with the same the same exact game over and over again. And I have to kind of deal with that with Truxton's too, because Truxton's perfect game conditions are to beat the game 5 times in a row in order to get all 5 endings for Truxton. And unlike Altered Beast, Truxton's gameplay does not actually... Truxton's difficulty does not crank up each and every time you play a new copy for the first time. The only thing, it is the exact same difficulty that you start off with when you start playing Truxton. And it takes hours to beat Truxton 5 times. I think like 2.5 to 3 hours, actually. The time of Lasorda Baseball is even longer, and so is Arnold Palmer's Tournament Golf. You actually have to rely on the password system in order to beat the game. You just have 10 to 12 hours of binge playing the game, and I'm not looking forward to Tommy Lasorda Baseball or Truxton. And it's not Truxton's a bad game, I'm sorry. There is really not a lot to say. We had Golden Axe as a kid, but I never played it. And I, to this day, can't get a handle on how the game plays. It's very stiff. Not only is it very stiff, but enemies don't die easily. You basically need to attack them 2 or 3 times, and boss enemies usually take like 4 or 5 times at the absolute minimum, and they can hit you far easier than you can hit them. Yeah. Death Adder Jr. You can only fight Death Adder Jr. if you play Golden Axe on beginner, and he's actually the final boss of level 3. Beginner difficulty cuts off at level 3, with Death Adder Jr. being the final boss of said game. But if you wanted to get attacked by Deathbringer, the final boss of Golden Axe Arcade Mode, he will follow out with another special ability, one of 3 maxed magic attacks that either one of your characters can use, but used against you. And that can shave off 2 whole bars of health easily. So, I'm just might for Truxton, instead of showing me beating the game 5 times, I will probably decide to just split my Truxton playthrough into 5 parts. Either that, or I will just dump the other 4 endings of Truxton at the very end. So I'll probably do a playthrough of Truxton next. So that's 4 down and 16 more Genesis titles to go for my Sega Genesis career, so to speak. Man, these credits take so freaking long. And yes, you can't skip these credits. I tried. I pressed start, I pressed A, B, and C. There's no select or shoulder buttons on the Genesis. So I pressed every button I could, and I could not skip through outside of the power off or resets. But the reason is because I want to show you that I got the highest rank possible. Oh boy. If I was speedrunning this game, I would get destroyed. But if I was actually good enough to speedrun this game, finally! Now I just have to like... And here's the score. And that's definitely good. Although it could be like 369.5, it's good enough for A+++, so see you there.